Hi, I'm Andrew Wilson, and in this video I'm going to play a solo mode of Eternal Chronicles of the Throne using the Gold and Steel expansion. This is a solo mode that is kind of a special rules published on the website of Direwolf Digital, the creators of this game, published by Renegade Game Studios. But yeah, it's kind of a weird ad hoc solo mode, and I'm going to play through it. So basically, instead of playing against opponents, you play against a spirit named Aramat. And since Aramat does not have a character health dial, I'm going to be using this Rollant character health dial to track Aramat's health. And in case you don't know, Eternal is a deck building game of combat where you kind of balanced for multiplayer as well, that doesn't have the kind of free-for-all problem that a lot of combat games have when you play with 3 or 4 players, because you're always attacking the player on your left. But here I'm just going to be attacking Aramat, and he's going to be attacking me, and he follows some kind of special rules. So for me, I'm going to be playing through a deck building game, and he's just kind of going to be doing something else, but still playing cards from the Forge deck and threatening me. So let's see how it goes. So, first of all, you get your standard deck of starting cards like you would expect in deck building games, but your 10th card is a random one from one of these 10 cards. So I'm going to roll a d10, 1 through 10, to see which of these starting cards I have. So I'm going to play with card number 4, which is the Withering Witch. She is Primal and Shadows, which means as I acquire cards from the Forge deck, I'm going to want to keep in mind that, this card might be the seed of my strategy or not. So it's kind of up to me. But just kind of get this one basic card to start with in my starting deck. So that's Primal and Shadows. And since I'm playing with the Gold and Steel expansion, I'm going to be playing with the market. So each player gets a market of 3 cards at the start of the game. And this solo variant does not have rules for the Gold and Steel expansion, so I just have to kind of figure out how I want to get my initial market row. And I think what I'm going to do is kind of a modified version of what's in the rules. I'm going to take 4 cards, and I'm going to choose 2 of those and put 2 on the bottom of the deck, and then I'm going to look at these 2 and choose 1 as my 3rd card and put the other on the bottom of the deck. And then these cards are special because they kind of start outside of the game, but you can spend gold to acquire them into your deck as though they were normal cards. And you don't start with any gold, so you have to acquire it. But one of the starting deck cards does get replaced with a card that gives you gold in the expansion. So let's see what we have. So I know that I'm Primal and Shadows, so this Psionic Savant and Dark Return at least match my, my influence type. She says, flying, if you play at least 2 spells this turn, draw 2 cards. I like that a lot. Dark Return, banish this to play a unit from your discard pile. So I don't like banishing. I like to be able to reuse my cards. It's also worth noting that the gold cost is very important because gold isn't necessarily easy to come by. So this time card, this Apex Predator, costs 4, gives you 1 power, which is the currency of the main currency of the game. And if you've generated at least 7 power this turn, Apex Predator gets endurance and may block twice. It's a very strong card with 6 strength. I actually like this one a lot. It's just expensive with 4. And then the Oathkeeper's Hammer gives as a weapon, which is a new card type for the expansion that you can upgrade your units, but it gives the wielder lifesteal and +1 strength. So this is a pretty straightforward card, and it only costs 2 gold. And I like lifesteal, and Aramat can be pretty threatening, so even though this doesn't match, I kind of like the look of this one. I'm probably not going to take the Dark Return. And so it's really between these 3, which 2 I take. I want to get these 2, but they have pretty high costs. So I don't know if I'll be able to purchase them both over the course of the game. But I think I will go for it. I want at least 1 to match my starting deck or my starting card in case I really want to go for a theme. And I like Primal, so I'm going to grab these 2 as my first 2. And for my 3rd card, so this one matches exactly. It's a 3 strength unit, draw a card, and when it damages an enemy player, you may put them on top of your deck. So I do like drawing cards. This is pretty good. They both cost 2, so that's not really a concern. This is Primal as well, though. And when it damages an enemy, I can draw. And he's got a primal ability to deal damage to an enemy player, which I assume would be a draw. That would be a draw trigger as well. So neither of these is a spell to combo with the Psionic Savant's ability, but I do like this Yeti Spy ability. It's extra, potentially drawing 2 cards, but I'm going to take the Gorgon Swiftblade for the ability to block a little bit of a higher strength unit as well. All right, and I'll put these 3 on the bottom of the market deck. And then these 3 cards will go into my personal little marker row, and these card stands actually come with the expansion, so that's nice that each player gets kind of a way to display their cards. So I'm going to take my first turn, draw 5 cards, and I need to set up the Forge row as well. There's 6 cards, and I think I'll actually put them in 2 rows. So normally it wouldn't matter, but the Aramont expansion or the solo rules do care about the position of these cards. So I'm going to number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the leftmost card, and this is the rightmost card, even though I have them on 2 rows. And then I can play. So you can see that each card has its cost in the top right corner. It has its power type in the top left corner. And if it's a unit, it has a strength value, or a weapon has a modifier to the strength value, and then whatever special abilities. So you might notice that the power costs, some of them are blue and some are orange. So I actually need to take 2 what are called warp tokens to start out the game. These warp tokens can be expended to purchase an orange costing card directly into my hand. So normally you buy a card, it goes into your discard pile, and as you cycle through your deck, you redraw those cards, normal deck building stuff. With the orange costs, you can expend one of your warps instead if you want to add it straight to your hand, or you can just buy it into the discard pile. So we also have a stack of veteran mercenaries over here. They cost 2. They're 2 strength units. They provide 1 power, which is again is the currency, and they have the mercenary ability, which means each turn you can decide what faction they count as, which can be good for triggering your the abilities on your cards that require those affiliations. And then the Seek Power card, there are actually 3 of those here. They cost 3, and they provide 2 power, and they have a special ability, which is a Throne ability that says you may banish this to create a 2 strength cavalry. And the 2 strength cavalry is just a unit. You would grab one of these tokens, and it's just treated like a card. But there are only 3 of them, and when they're all purchased, the Eternal Throne is revealed, which means that all the throne symbols on all cards are active. Before the throne is revealed, these abilities are not active. So normally there's a Seek Power depending on the number of players in the game, but for this solo variant, there are 3 of them. So if I buy all 3 of them, then I'll unlock those throne abilities for me and for the opponent. If I don't buy all 3 of them, then those throne abilities will not ever come into play. So let's see. So first of all, I have this refresh card, which is in the starting deck. It has a throne ability to refresh my warp tokens, but again, throne is not active, so this card is actually a dead card until the throne is revealed. So I have 4 copies of Diplomacy, each of which provides 1 power, which means I'm going to have 4 power to spend this turn. So I'm going to start by looking at the cards that cost 4, which is the Ornate Katana. It's a +2 strength weapon. When you play it, draw a card. That's pretty good. Jotun Punter, give one of your other units flying, and it's a 4 power unit. And the Carindon Merchant gives you 1 gold or adds a card to your market, your choice, and it has a synergy with other Shadows cards to gain +3 defense, which can help when blocking. I do kind of want to play my market cards, so I'm tempted to get this gold producing card right off the bat. I think this Katana is a really good card, though. If I had memorized the starting deck, I would know how much power I have next turn, but I'm not going to worry about it. Actually, Death Strike is a very strong card as well. It doesn't cost 4, so I'd be wasting 1 of my power, but destroy an enemy unit straight up is very strong. But I've got 4 this turn, so I'm going to buy the Carindon Merchant. and start building up some gold and go with that strategy and see how it works. So the forge row is immediately replaced. You know what? I just decided I'm actually going to play with a special rule that I made up. Basically, especially for the solo mode, this row can get a little bit stagnant. So I'm actually going to play with a variant that is every turn I'm going to roll a d6, and one of these cards is going to be marked for replacement. So I'll roll it at the start of my turn to mark one of these cards for replacement. But for now, I'm going to play the Aramot's turn. So the way that he works is he starts out at level 0, and every time I need to reshuffle my deck, he's going to go up 1 level. And if he reaches level 7, I lose the game. On his turn, he's going to play the top card of the Forge deck, and then he's going to play an extra card if it matches, if there is anything in the Forge row that matches the first card he played. He's going to play another card if he's level 2 or higher. And if he's level 4 or higher, he'll play a second card that matches his initial card. So we'll see how that plays out. But for now, he's just going to play the top card of the Forge deck, which is Vara, Vengeance Seeker, 7 cost. So right off the gate, he's got a powerful card in play. She's a 4-strength unit with lifesteal and unblockable. Lifesteal means he will gain health when she deals damage, and unblockable means, well, I can't block it. And that's all he's going to do. And the way attacking works in this game is now that his turn is ending, she's attacking me. So now on my turn, it's up to me to get her off the table somehow, perhaps by declaring a block. But it's very unlikely I'll be able to do that. So, oh, you know what? Withering Witch. So this is perfect. I have Withering Witch. She's 1 strength, but she has the +3 defense ability, which means she actually defends with as a 4-strength unit. So I could defend Vara if she weren't unblockable. So never mind. I'm not going to be able to defend against Vara. The Worn Shield has a Throne ability to give a unit +2 defense, which again, Throne is not revealed, so this card does nothing. And then I have these 3 cards, which provide me with 1 gold, which is going to be a permanent currency I have until I've spent it. But that's currently my only way to gain gold, other than the card I just bought. And 4 power. So this time I think I'm really going to go for that Death Strike. And that way it'll be in my deck starting next turn, and I won't have to worry too much about the units that Aramot starts throwing at me. And I've gotten a lot of Shadows cards already, so I'm on theme. Although it doesn't matter that much. I can use this +3 defense on the Merchant. So these cards I played are going to be done. Anything that's attacking me that I didn't get off the table is now going to hit me. And I couldn't do anything about Vara, so I'm going to take 4 damage. Go down from 25, the starting life total, to 21. And Aramot is going to go up to 29. There's no maximum health in the game. So start at 25 and then go from there. So Vara's gone. And now it's my turn, or it's Aramot's turn, and Withering Witch is attacking. Well, you know, I didn't do the thing I said I was going to do, which was to mark 1 card. So I'm going to mark this one. And now that my turn's over, I'm going to delete that one. So that's basically what I'm going to do. Is the start of my turn, I'm going to roll, and maybe just at the end of my turn, I'll do it now. So this card, if it's still here, I'm going to replace it just to keep the cards changing. So Aramot will... Actually, I need to draw my starting hand at the end of my turn, which means I had to reshuffle, which means Aramot's going to go up from level 0 to level 1. And again, if he gets to level 7, I lose. So we are on the clock already. So Aramot gets a Horde Plunderer. It says draw a weapon from your discard pile. He doesn't have a discard pile. And it has a Primal Affiliation, draw a card and discard a card. So the expansion, again, is not covered under the solo rules. There are specific cards listed that Aramot ignores the effects of. And the expansion is not included, but I'm pretty sure this effect would be one of them. Although it's not triggering right now anyway, because it doesn't have the Primal synergy. But yeah, I think that effect would be ignored. So right now it's just going to be a 2 strength unit. It could block my Withering Witch because it's only attacking as a 1. And in order to block in this game, your unit that you want to block with has to have an equal or higher strength to what you want to block. So the Horde Plunderer could block my Withering Witch. But the rules for Aramont are somewhat aggressive. He defends with his units with Endurance because they're not discarded when they block. Normally, when you block with a unit, it discards the blocking and the blocked unit. But Endurance means you can block and then still stay in play to be attacking. Aramont will also block with his creatures that have plus defense abilities. So if this Withering Witch were on his side of the table, he would prioritize defending with it because of its defensive ability. But Horde Plunderer doesn't have that either. He also prioritizes attacking or blocking my creatures that have damage reward effects. So anything that rewards me for dealing damage to him, he would block that. Withering Witch doesn't have that. He would also block fatal damage. So if it's enough to kill him, he blocks. If none of those 3 things applies, or 4 things applies, he doesn't block. So he's not going to bother blocking this witch. He's going to leave the Horde Plunderer out attacking me, which means he's going to end his turn and take 1 damage from my witch. And when my witch hits him, it's going to hit him for 1, and then it's going to be discarded. So that's how attacking and blocking works. You kind of attack passively by ending your turn with the unit in play. You block actively during your own turn. And then at the end of the next player's turn, the attack resolves, basically. So Aramont's going to go down from 29 to 28. And then it's my turn. And I have a 2 strength unit attacking me. I have 4 diplomacies and a treasure trove, so I'll collect my 2nd gold. So I do have enough to buy the Gorgon Swiftblade if I want it, or I can save up. I don't know. I don't think I want to save up. I think I like the Swiftblade. I'm probably going to buy that this turn. I do have 5 power then to spend how I choose. The Amethyst Acolyte's pretty good. Shadow's unit is 2 strength and gives an enemy unit -2 strength. Pock Rock Packer deals 1 damage to the enemy player and you draw a card. As a 1 strength unit. Seems good, but not amazing. And I've got 5 to work with. Although this Eastwind Herald is strong. And I could buy a 2 and a 3 cost card. It's worth considering buying the Seek Powers because it lets you buy more expensive cards and uncover the throne, which turns 2 of your dead cards in your starting deck into active cards. I think I will buy the Eastwind Herald for sure, because I have multiple options at 3 cost. So I'm going to buy that, which then that spot is replaced. And we've uncovered a Magma Javelin, which is a relic. So a relic, you buy it, goes to your discard pile normally. When you play it, eventually, it will then just stay in play until another effect removes it. But it says whenever one of your units damages an enemy player, the Magma Javelin deals 1 damage to that player. So it's just an extra poke every time you hit the opponent. Seems good. Right now I want probably a little bit more active stuff going on. I do like the defensive power of the Amethyst Acolyte. The bolster's not bad. Gives 2 power and lets you block better. So it's kind of like a Seek power with an extra bonus. I think I will grab the bolster as an early game play to help me build up my power generation. And we reveal Talir, who sees beyond. And I'll admit I'm a little bit sad to see that because she's in this number 1 spot, which means it's most likely for Aramont to hit her or to play her before I have a chance to buy her. Although she'll just be a 4 attacker. I don't think she actually does anything. Yeah, her effect is ignored in these rules. So I'm not actually too worried. It's just 1 attack for 4. So maybe that's okay. I will spend my 2 gold before I end my turn to purchase from my market the Gorgon Swiftblade. End my turn by drawing 5 cards. And I will get hit by this Horde Plunderer for 2 damage. Going down to 19. And it's Aramont's turn. So he's going to play the top card of the Forge deck, which is Icaria the Liberator. She has flying and endurance. And she has a thrown ability that won't apply. So endurance means she could block and still be attacking, but there's nothing for her to block. flying means it's going to make it harder for me to block her, but that's it. It's only other attack for 3. Oh, and I should have replaced this Pock as well. So the katana is going to go away. I actually wanted the katana, so I don't think I'm going to be able to buy it though. So these 2 dead cards in my hand. I have the Death Strike to kill the enemy unit, so I'll do that. So I won't get hit for 3. I can play the Carandon Merchant. I do get the Shadows synergy to get +3 defense, but that's not going to help me. I'm going to take the gold rather than adding another card to my market. And I have a total of 2 power this turn, which is enough to buy a mercenary. The mercenaries aren't particularly exciting, but they are good. They are solid. They attack or block for 2. They give you a little bit of power. And the mercenary ability can be really good for triggering the synergy abilities. So I will spend my 2 power to buy a mercenary. And that's all I can do this turn. I just have to look forward to not drawing dead cards next turn. And the merchant is attacking for 1. So the katana will be discarded, unfortunately. Get a new card. And mark the Amethyst Acolyte. I need to draw up to 5, which means I'm reshuffling my deck, which means Aramot goes to level 2. So the first few levels do come faster because of the fact that my deck is smaller at the beginning of the game. The bigger my deck gets, the slower Aramot will level up, fortunately. So for now, he's already at level 2, which means he's going to play potentially 2 cards this turn. Depends on what he pulls off the top and whether anything in the forge row matches the power type. All right, and he gets the Crystal Dirk, which is a weapon that gives the wielder +1 power and the ability to generate gold, which Aramot doesn't use. He will then play the next primal card that he sees in the forge row, which is the Jotun Punter. And the Jotun Punter would give another unit flying. I assume the rules don't really cover weapons, but I assume he's going to attach the weapon to the Jotun Punter. And if it hits me, he'll get 2 gold, which, again, may or may not actually come up. He's not going to bother blocking the merchant. He could block it with his 5 strength unit, but he won't. So he's going to take 1 from my merchant. Put him down to 27. And it's my turn, and this 5 strength unit is attacking me. All right. So I drew this Warden Shield, actually. Forgot about the reshuffle. Wow, okay. I have Eastwind Herald, which has flying and +3 defense. So it can defend as a 4. Unfortunately, the weapon put that just out of blocking range. And I do not have the primal combo to draw a card. So all I have is a 1 strength flying attacker and 4 power. I do gain a gold. 2 gold, still not enough to buy any of these other cards in my market yet. If I don't buy the Acolyte, he'll go away, which is okay. So the Sniper would let me deal 2 damage to the player and attack for 2. So the Silverwing Purge Leader is really nice. I like this one because you can warp it into your hand and play it right away, and then banish it to destroy an enemy unit that's attacking you. So I could even do that right now if I didn't want to take this 5. But I tend to, I don't know, I'm not too worried about that. Plus, if I spend 2 power on that, then I just have 2 left, then I have to buy another mercenary, which is okay. I could actually warp the Acolyte into my hand, waste 1 power, play it, reduce this Jotun Punter down from 5 to 3, and then block with the Herald, and be attacking for 2. That's not the worst, and I kind of wanted to buy this anyway. Not excited about it, but not particularly excited about anything right now. At least not that I can afford, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend a warp token to buy the Acolyte into my hand, play it, give the Punter -2, and then block with the 4 defense Herald. And now I won't take 5, which is nice. And the Acolyte is attacking. So I am wasting this 1 power, but there's nothing to buy for 1, so I will end my turn. And roll. Arcane Defense is marked. And Aramot will draw. So he got a relic, which is a little bit unfortunate, because they kind of just sit and play and they can just help him passively over the rest of the game. Whereas if he plays a unit or a spell, then they kind of happen and they go away. But the relics can be annoying from him. So it says once during your turn, if you have a unit with 4 strength or more, draw a card. And when he draws a card, it just means he gets to play an extra card, basically. And then he's going to play the next card that's Time or Justice from the Forge, which is Talir. So here she goes. Her effect won't happen, but she is a 4 strength attacker. And then, after playing all his cards, he resolves all their effects. So now he's going to resolve the effect of the Crown of Authority, and he does have a unit with 4 strength or more, so he gets to draw a card. And now he's going to be also attacking me with a 3 strength Berserk creature. Whew, okay. He's not going to bother blocking the Acolyte, so he will take 2 from it at the end of his turn. Finally got him back down to his starting life total of 25. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do. So I do have the Withering Witch, which gives +3 defense to itself, so it defends as a 4. And Berserk means it deals double damage to player. So if I let this hit me, I'm going to take 6 from it. So I would like to block that one. Probably won't bother blocking Talir, or not bother, I won't bother, I can't. And then I have 3/4 power. So let's read what we want to do with our power. Arcane Defense says draw a card, give up to 2 enemy units -1 strength. It's pretty good. Could let me block easier, and it replaces itself with the card draw. It's also a spell, so if I end up buying Psionic Savant, she cares about how many spells I've played, and spells aren't actually that easy to come by. So I do have the Death card, but I don't have that many spells, so I might pick up that Arcane Defense for that purpose. Hip Shot is also a spell. Provides 1 power, deals an damage to the enemy, and if they have a relic, it deals 3. And he does have a relic, so that could be okay. I mean, it's good to burn him down. It depends on if I want to burn him down or prioritize defending myself. But this lets me draw a card, which actually moves me faster through the deck, which lets him level up faster. So maybe I shouldn't be as excited about drawing cards. I mean, I could get this Outland Sniper and try to destroy the enemy relic. And it helps burn him down. I could even, again, I could warp it into play right now and use the Mercenary ability for fire to be able to use this synergy right away and destroy the Crown of Authority if I'm really that worried about it. But I haven't bought any Seek Power yet, which means going to be a while, if ever, before that throne was revealed. And revealing the throne is the only way to refresh your warp tokens, because one of the starting deck cards refreshes your warp tokens if the throne is revealed. And if I spend my last warp token now, I might never get to warp anything again, and I might really feel like warping something. So I don't think I want to prioritize destroying the crown. If I had bought a Seek Power or 2, I would more strongly think about that. I think I am just going to waste 1 and go for the Arcane Defense. So let's grab that. Well, this card actually does cost 1. It's a 1 cost, 2 strength flying unit. Whenever it deals attack damage to an enemy player, it remains in play. So yeah, I get to spend my 4th power and buy this Recurring Nightmare. It's a pretty strong card. And I will block. So blocking actually can be done at any point during your turn, but I will declare that block, which just means both these cards are discarded. And I'll end my turn with the Mercenary attacking and take 4 from Talir. Going down to 15. Okay, draw 5. And play Aramot's turn. So his first card is the Explorer Emeritus, and his second card will be either Time or Primal, which is going to be this Ancient Bauble. And then he will resolve his cards, so he does not have a unit with power 4 or more. He does have another Time card, so he will draw a card. He has not produced... Well, so there's... Okay, so this card says once during your turn, if you generate at least 7 power, gain 3 health. Now the 7 power theme is kind of recurring throughout the game, that some of the cards care about whether you've generated at least 7 power to gain additional effects. The Ermot special rules actually specify a slightly alternate, harder variant that instead of checking for 7 power on cards like this, you just check to see if Ermot played at least 2 cards that generate any power, which in this case he actually would because of the Explorer and the Midnight Gale. But I don't think I'm going to play that with that more difficult variant, so not going to do that. So I'm not sure how this actually would be resolved because he's supposed to resolve them from left to right. This one was draw a card, and the card he drew is Primal, which could mean he could do that. So actually going kind of top to bottom, I think he would do this first, get the Primal card, and then still do the second card. So here we go, Lightning Storm. All right, so now he's going to continue resolving them. Has he gained at least 7 power? No, so okay. Midnight Gale gives 1 power, doesn't do anything. If he's played another Primal card, it flies. So he does do that, so it will fly. And there are tokens for these things. If he's played another Shadows card, it will have Lifesteal, but he doesn't have that. And then Lightning Storm has Voidbind, which is ignored by Ermot, and then destroy all enemy units with 2 or less strength, which will kill my Mercenary, so he won't get hit by that this turn. And this can go away. I forgot to roll, didn't I? So there we go. And I'll kind of stack these relics up for the future. But now these 2 units are attacking me for 1 and for 1 and 1 for 3 with flying. All right. Well, I have my refresh, which won't do anything. I can give a unit +3 defense. Well, I'm going to play Death Strike, destroy an enemy unit, and I'm just going to destroy the Midnight Gale. So I don't have to worry about that 3. And I'm going to play Gorgon Swiftblade, which says I draw a card, which, ooh, I might not want to do that yet. But I can play it, and then I probably won't block that because it's only 1. Unless I draw a 1 strength unit. But let's see if I can spend my 2, 3, 4 power before drawing, just so that I have another stronger card in my deck. Maybe it's time to take that hip shot now. Again, I could get the sniper, but let's grab the hip shot. Or he's up to 2 relics. Maybe I want to start destroying them. All right, I'll grab the sniper. I'm not going to warp it. I don't have the fire combo anyway, but I will buy it. My 4 power. And then I'll draw with Gorgon Swiftblade. If I draw a card that provides more power, maybe I'll be a little bit disappointed, but so I could have bought the Slime Spitter Slug, which is pretty solid. And Ermot will go to level 3. And I did. I drew 1 power, which I can't do anything with. So I will end my turn with Gorgon Swiftblade attacking and take 1 damage from the Explorer Emeritus, going down to 14. And I will roll 3. And Ermot gets a Cabal Spymaster, and then a Shadows card, which will be the Slug. Alright, now, does he have a unit with 4 strength or more? No. And has he gained at least 7 power? No. All your other units with 3 or less are unblockable, so it's a continuous ability. He's also unblockable. And he gives the Slug gives all enemy units -1 strength, so this Gorgon goes down to 2. Now this does have a damage reward effect, so Ermot will try to block it. The Spymaster can't block it because it's strength 2, so he'll block it with the Slug. And now I have this 1 strength unit attacking me, going into my turn. Alright, so I've got 4 units this turn, actually. I have a Primal combo for the Eastwind Herald with the Withering Witch, so I'll draw a card. And I can use Mercenary to be fire in order to use the Outland Sniper to destroy an enemy relic. I'll get rid of that crown. And do 2 damage with the Sniper. Put him down to 23. Can't block the Spymaster, but it's only 1. just because it says it's unblockable. So I guess these will all be attacking. And I have 2, 3, 4 power with which to make a purchase. So Levitate can give me power and give a unit flying. It's pretty inexpensive, kind of seek power variant. And flying is pretty good. 4 power. I'd love to have 5 because then I could buy a 3 and a 2. I do still want to consider just buying the seek power because I kind of do want the throne at some point. So maybe I'll just grab that seek power now and maybe save the levitate for when I have, like 5 or something, or only 2 to spend. So I'll buy a seek power. These are all attacking, and I'll take 1 from Spymaster going down to 13. 13 to 23. Not a great place to be. Let's mark a card. So the levitate's actually marked, so hopefully I can buy it next turn. And Aramont will go. So he gets Bolster, and then a time card, which will be none. So he's not doing much this turn. Ancient Bauble will do nothing, and the Bolster will do nothing. So actually, that was a great turn for me. And then he's going to take 2, 4, 6 damage from me. Go down to 17. Okay, that's pretty nice. Still looking forward to hitting a 3rd gold so I can buy Psionic Savant. I should pay attention to whether I want to save up for the Apex Predator, but I need to be able to consistently, or at least sometimes, make 7 power to give him endurance and the ability to block twice. Although the 6 strength unit is fine too, so the Worn Shield won't help me. This Carrington Merchant will give me 1 gold. Now I know that my other gold production is in my deck right now, but I only have 3 cards. So at the end of this turn I'm going to draw 5, 3 of them, and then other 2, and then so if I buy the Psionic Savant now, it will make it into my deck rotation, but if I wait for that 4th gold to buy the Apex Predator, it will not make it for this deck rotation. I think I have enough spells now. I'm going to go ahead and spend my gold on the Psionic Savant. And just get some cards going as fast as I can. Arcane Defense says draw a card, give up to 2 enemy units -1 strength, but he doesn't have any. Actually, I get to, maybe I'm going to draw, no, I didn't draw the gold, so that's okay. So I'll go ahead and buy the Savant. Play this. I do get the Shadows combo for +3 defense, but that won't help me. And I have 2 power, so I will buy the Levitate, just as planned. Very good. I'll end my turn with 2 attackers in play. Draw 2 cards, mark the Javelin, level up Aramont, so he's now level 4, which is the most dangerous, because that's the point at which he can play up to 3 cards on his turn. So it still has, the 2nd and 3rd still have to match his 1st card and be from the Forge row, but being able to play 3 cards is scary. And again, level 7, I'm dead. So I need to start bringing that 17 health down faster. We'll see, maybe this Recurring Nightmare will do some work. So Aramont gets Cabal Cutthroat, 2 strength, 2 and Life Seal. And okay, I'm not too worried about that. All right, so he would want to block this Nightmare because it has a damage reward effect, which is that it would remain in play. But he can't because it's flying and the Cutthroat's not flying. So he won't bother blocking the Merchant. So he'll take 3 damage. Nightmare stays in play, goes down to 14. And he's attacking with this 2 strength lifesteal unit. Alright, well I got my Psionic Savant and no spells. I can draw a card with Gorgon Swiftblade. Not a spell. So that's okay. Start building up my gold again with the Treasure Trove. And actually this Amethyst Acolyte can give an enemy unit -2 strength, so he will not be able to do any damage to me when it hits. So I don't have to bother blocking it, which is nice. And I have 3 power. Could grab that Magma Javelin before it goes away. But I might just grab another Seek Power and try to uncover the throne. And so I'm not going to bother blocking. I've got 2 flying units attacking. This is pretty good. This looks pretty good. Don't want to speak too soon. So I'll take 0 damage from the Cutthroat and he'll gain 0 health. Yeah, and then the Javelin will go away. Mark the gold mine. And Aramont gets Tinker Overseer, which is a Justice card, so he will also take the Silverwing Purge Leader. Alright. He does not have a 7 power. Tinker Overseer, while you have a relic, it has Flying and Berserk, so he will be able to block my Flyer, one of them potentially. And the Silverwing Purge Leader also has Flying and it has Lifesteal. And it says you can banish it to destroy an enemy unit with strength 4 or more. I do not have any of those, so he's not going to do that. So now he will try to block. So he starts with the lowest strength unit, and if it's a tie, I get to choose. And he's going to try to block the Nightmare. He would want to block the Swiftblade as well, but it's too strong, so he can't block that. Because Swiftblade has a strength of 3, and these are both 2. They're not strong enough to block it. But one of them will block the Recurring Nightmare. They both fly, so I just get to pick which one blocks it. I think right now, I'm actually a little bit more worried about him gaining health than I am about losing health. So I'm actually going to have him block with the Lifesteal and leave the Overseer in play. In fact, if I got rid of the Relic, the Overseer would lose Flying and Berserk. So we'll see. And now he's going to get hit for 8 damage. So 14 down to 6, actually. That's quite good. All right. Now on my turn. Oh, or I can just Death Strike the Overseer. So I guess I'll do that. There's nothing else to Death Strike this turn. Give a unit flying. I'm going to draw with Arcane Defense. I got a shield, which won't help me. I have these 2 units. The Sniper has the Fire combo, and the Mercenary can be Fire, so I will destroy the Ancient Bauble. The Outland Sniper will deal 2 damage to him and put him down to 4. And I can give a unit flying, which doesn't matter which one, but I will give it to the Sniper. And I have 3/4 power, with which to buy whatever I want. So actually, he's very close to dead at this point, and I still have a Warp Token. I'm actually going to spend 2 on this Horned Vorlunk and warp it into play. So it's a 4-strength unit that cannot block. And I'm not worried about blocking right now, actually. So let's see if he can deal with this 4-strength unit. And I still have 2 more power. I think I will buy this Barbarian Camp, just in case. And that's it for my turn. And I still have plenty of cards in my deck for this turn, and not quite next turn, but he's still just on 4. And actually this gold mine's going to go away. And we'll get Mark the Caleb. And he got Petition, which is interesting because it does not have any type. Not sure what to do about that. This is an expansion card, so the solar rules don't necessarily account for this situation. I think I might just give him the benefit of the doubt and say it matches anything, rather than nothing or only other unaffiliated cards. So I'm going to give him the Hip Shot, and since he's at level 4, I'm going to give him this Gold Mine, just because those were the first and second card. but I don't think it's going to help him very much because those cards are not very exciting. So the hip shot's going to deal 1 damage to me. The petition does nothing. Hip shot does 1 to me, 3 if I had a relic, but I don't, so I'm going to go 12. And the gold mine lets him banish it for 2 gold. So Aramont will gain 2 gold, which he's unlikely to spend because he has no market. And then he's going to take 2 for 8 damage and go to -4. And I win. So that game was actually easier than the first one I played. The first one I played, I was a lot closer, very close to dead. This one went really well for me, I suppose. Got a lot of cards going. And so you get to see how the solo mode works and how the expansion works if you haven't tried that one out yet. And just the game in general if you haven't played it. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Bye.